Alright guys, as you can see, I'm at 154,959, and a few days ago my check fuel cap light came on. Sometimes it's just you actually forget to close the cap. I did not forget it. I checked it and I just kept on driving to see if it go away by itself. It did not. After about 2 days, the check engine light came on. I was fairly sure it was for the same code. And I know a lot of you dread that evap code because on the older trucks it could be a real headache to actually track it down. In any case, the code came up, so I decided to stop by AutoZone to see what was going on. There's the check engine light. I went to AutoZone, got their scanner, pulled the code, and what they pulled out was that dreaded P0456 code. Basically, they just give you a printout like this, and it mentions that you need to replace that module. Now, I only had one code, not all three codes, so I was able to pretty much on the spot go ahead and purchase the module, which is called that Replace Emission System Integrity Monitor, or the ESIM. Sounds fancy, but luckily in reality it's just a simple, looks like air check valve. They had it in stock. This is the part number, at least from AutoZone. There it is, ESM 1000. From what I understood from the clerk, it's actually a fairly common issue. And it's a pretty flimsy, simple little plastic part. It only has basically a few connections. It has that main connection that clips onto the box. And then on the back of it, you have a couple other things. You have basically the sensor right there on the right. And then you have this hose where it's supposed to connect. And that's all it really is. As you can see, it's a fairly cheap part. I think with tax and everything, it only came out to $48.70. And like I said, luckily they did have it in stock. So I'm gonna go ahead and go under the car and install it and see what happens. Just to show you my fuel cap. Now, according to the AutoZone people, I shouldn't even have a fuel cap. I should have the capless system. So I was not able to purchase a cap, but like I said, I don't think it's the issue at all. What I did do is flip that little ring, took it off, flipped it over, put it back on. But you can see it has vapor, kind of like fresh vapor around it. So you know it makes a good seal. I don't think it had anything to do with the cap. So as you can see, this module is located right next to the drive shaft at the end of the transmission. There's basically only a few things to disconnect. Number one is the sensor in the back of it. It's fairly easily accessible. You just unclip it and pull it out. Check it, make sure it's clean. Next step is this hose. Now, for me, it did not want to come out by itself. I guess it kind of dried on there a little bit. So I had to use a screwdriver to pry it off. Just be gentle not to break anything. And at the very bottom there, you can see there's a clip that holds it in place. Here, I already removed the hose. Now I'm gonna kind of loosen the clip and just rotate it to take it out. Now, I went too far. You only have to go a quarter turn, not completely like that. So I kind of had to back it off a little bit, and then it came off. There's the clip that holds it. There's two positions for the clip. You want to make sure it clips into the bottom. So you put it horizontal and then push it vertical. Do take out the old ring that sits around there, makes a seal. Just simply remove it. It doesn't have any kind of lubricant or anything. Grab the new one, install it in its place. It should sit right in there. It basically has a little recess that actually kind of, lays flat in. Then just grab a new module. Like I said, put it at that 45-degree angle. And then all you have to do is just twist it to the bottom to lock it in. So not like that, but actually a little bit lower. There you go, like that. Start there and then rotate it down until that clip is nice and seated. It just simply clips in. Then you connect the two things, the little sensor in the back. Very simple. If it's dirty, clean it, and then just connect the hose at the front. That's all there is. Alright, so it's been just a little over 2 days since the original repair. Just to make it clear, I did not unplug the battery. I did not clear any codes. I'm just gonna start it up and see if the actual engine code cleared itself. And looks like we are go. The actual code did clear all by itself. So let's wrap this video up. All right, just to wrap this video up with the sequence, about 5 days ago, I had my fuel cap light on. 2 days later, the check engine light comes on. I go get the part, replace it. Within 10 miles of the part replacement, the fuel cap light goes off. And then it took an extra 2 days for the actual engine code to self-clear. My understanding is that it needs to pass or fail twice in a row before it triggers it. So that's all there is to it. Hopefully yours is as easy as this one was.